a little treat for you from me. It's Bowman's Heaven History TV. Woo!
Good day to you all, and welcome to another installment of Bowman's Heaven History TV, and a series of videos that show us how to answer examination-style questions, really aimed at the AQA exam board, but also can be used at Key Stage 3 for questions set during assessments and things. Okay, so which one are we looking at today? Today's exam technique is where the question begins with write an account. Write an account. It sounds very simple, but it's actually a little bit more complicated. Okay, in its basic form, here you are, 8 marks. Write an account of how X led to Y or X influenced Y. Okay, so you're going to get 2 events and you're going to see how they impacted on each other, or how one led to the other, or we'll have a look. Okay, now the thing is, it's not really just writing an account as if a chronological order of things is what's needed. You do actually need to direct it towards what the question's asking and explain. All right, everything really needs an explanation using second order concepts like cause, consequence, similarity, differences. This generally is a cause and consequence question, as you'll see here with this one, because here's an example. Write an account of how the aims of the peacemakers after the First World War led to the disagreements in 1919. So remember, we have X leads to Y. All right, how does X lead to Y? So where is our X in this question here? What is it? There you go. There is our X, the aims of the peacemakers after First World War. So write an account of how the aims of the peacemakers after the First World War, and then you've got the arrow, led to what? Disagreements in 1919. So as with everything, when you get an exam question, you have to break down what a question is asking us about. And in this case, the question is asking us about how one specific thing, aims of peacemakers, led to disagreements. All right. Now, remember, if you're watching this video, this is probably not a question that you've got. So look at your question and work out what is the X and what is the Y. Okay. What are they wanting you to look at first, and how it led to what next? All right. Or caused something or had an impact on something. So let's have a look. So when we do these little essays, we always should stop and think and have ourselves a little plan. All right, here we go. So when we're thinking about this, we've got to think about the X. What were the aims? So in this case, Wilson wanted world peace, Clemenceau wanted revenge against Germany, and Lloyd George wanted to be able to trade and protect the British Empire, not British Empire. I do apologize, the British Empire. Now, if you don't know about this, it doesn't matter, okay? It doesn't matter. I'm giving you some aims, so the structure and the idea of what you would do. So if you had learned this, you would know that that is the case. So that's our X. So we're going to talk about our X. Now, where is our Y? Where are the disagreements? So let's think about the disagreements. I'm going to quickly write down what I remember. They disagreed over disarmament. They disagreed over national self-determination. And they disagreed over a League of Nations, to name but a few things, okay? So I now have my aims. I now have my disagreements. I can now start to build my answer, all right? How am I going to do this? Well, it's an 8-mark question. You need to use the P structure. Everything really is going to have the P structure. So you give one of the factors, one of the aims, and then how that led to disagreement. All right. And then in the second paragraph, you would do the same thing. So the point is, they disagreed over the aim. They had different aims. Clemenceau wanted this, and Lloyd George wanted this. So you would directly look at the two sides' aims and how they conflicted, okay? How are you going to do that? Well, evidence, you need to put your knowledge of the aims and the disagreement in there. All right, certainly for this one. Remember, if it's a different question, you might be looking at something else. And then explanation. Now, this is the key with this question to get top marks. It must relate directly to the question. Make sure you show this using language of the question. So the disagreements, go back to the question at the beginning. You're using this led to disagreements because, all right? Therefore, they disagreed because their aims. You're using the language of the question, all right? Now, 2 of those paragraphs should get you, 2 of those paragraphs done well will get you 8 marks. What we have here, and my face seems to be ever so slightly in the way here. So can I move myself? Yes, I can. There we go. Move myself out of the way a bit. So if you're getting 1, 2 marks, 3 perhaps down the lower end, you're making basic reasonings. You're making a point, that's the P there, or you're making just some evidence, okay? You're just giving some knowledge. You're not actually really linking it to the question. You're just saying that you understand something about what's said in the question. To get into the middle bands, all right, to get into the middle marks, 4, 5, 6 perhaps, you can do some simple, really the 4 and the 5 marks, 6 is doing a little bit more. To get in there, you have a point and some evidence or explanation, okay? So there you're developing the answer, giving them a little bit more. Developed reasoning is where you do your point, your evidence or explanation, and your evidence or explanation, all right? If you only do 1 paragraph, you'll only get up to about 6 marks. If you do 2, that's when you can get top marks. Can I do top marks without doing 2? And that's what it says over here. You cannot reach the top 2 marks without doing at least 2 paragraphs, okay? So that is the structure. Now, let me give you an example here using the question we've been looking at. Remember, your question may not be this. So here's an answer. Remember, the question was, how did the aims of the peacemakers lead to disagreements? Lloyd George wanted what was best for Britain's empire, naval empire, rather than every single country, resulting in discontentment with the League when it was working. That there is a point, right? It's just 1 point. What they need in there is some evidence, okay? How do we know that he wanted what best for naval empire? What did he actually want? Who was the discontentment with? Okay, so that is going to get you 1 or 2 marks for being very basic. 1 or 2 out of 8. All right, but I think the thing is, you can see most people can do that. And not everyone is going to be aiming for the 8 out of 8. We've got to remember that we are all of different abilities, so we are all capable of doing that sort of answer. Taking it up now, so that was the basic. This is going to show you the simple, okay? You can see here, it's the French bloke now. He wanted Germany to be destroyed. Yeah, so there's our point. And here we start getting in some evidence. France had lost men. All right, so was furious. He wanted them punished so they would never hurt France again. Yeah, we got quite a nice bit of evidence there. Caused disagreements because the treaty included taking land from Germany and reduced their army to 100,000 men. Well, the thing that you've got there, you've got quite good evidence. But this explanation down here isn't very good. It caused disagreements because it's not linked to the question. It doesn't actually really tell us any disagreements between people. So it's not explicitly relating to the question. It's implicit. It's sort of implied that it led to disagreements, but doesn't give us the specific disagreements. So hopefully you can see the difference with that. That might get you 4 marks out of 8 or so. Just 1 paragraph there. So let's show you how we can get top marks. Well, remember, it's because it's only 1 paragraph I'm showing you here. It will only get you about 6. But this is how you would structure it, okay? You can see now we'll go back to David Lloyd George. You can see he makes a point there. But then they directly link it with Clemenceau. However, Clemenceau, yeah? And then we start talking about the fact this disagreed with Lloyd George, who didn't want to treat Germany harshly as he knew it would backfire. Okay, so we're talking about what Clemenceau wanted and a direct disagreement with somebody there. So we are talking about a direct link to the question. All right. Now, this can be done for any question that comes up. All right. I know we've looked there, and if you're in year 8, you're going to be thinking, well, I don't know anything about the First World War, but have a look at the question you've got and see what is the X and what is it asking you to relate it to? And then you can have the same structure. Okay. As long as you do the same structure, it's pretty straightforward. It doesn't just have to be for this question. So read the question carefully. What is the X? What is the Y? Create a quick plan. Okay, this is what I know about the X. This is what I know about the Y. Use the PE structure. Remember, it's 2 paragraphs for this one. And directly address the focus of the question. Any questions? You know where I am. And remember, be yourself a Heb and History hero. See you later, guys.